The Radio Forest Podcast.
Hey, Forrest, how are you, man?
Doing really good. Hey, what a loss to the rock, to the drum community. Charlie Watts, right?
Yeah, it's terrible. There's been a lot of people this year. I mean, we lost Dusty, Tim Bogert, even the drummer from Iron Butterfly. He was a big loss. So he was the backbone. He was the backbone in the groove of the Rolling Stones, you know. I didn't know him that well. I met him a couple of times. But Rod Stewart always said to me when he wanted to feel, so listen to Charlie.
Yeah, didn't Charlie help at least partially inspire or at least get the ball rolling for Do You Think I'm Sexy?
Well, the Rolling Stones, Missing You was the one. Rod said to the band, I want a song like Missing You. And I was lucky. I came back with a demo with my friend Dwayne Hitchings that sounded really good. And Rod said, let's do it. So, it could have went the other way. He could have picked somebody else's song, but he picked mine. So we finished it, and the rest is history. It's amazing.
We're on the phone with Carmine Appice. He's got a brand new album, Energy Overload, with Fernando Perdomo. It's really upbeat and happy, and when I read what you were doing, I was like, oh, man, I wonder how do you know when a song's done because there's no lyrics, and then I heard it, and I completely get it now. And you know what? It's kind of like early Van Halen without David Lee Roth.
How funny. There's one song, I think it's called Starstream, that EVH, he says next to it. That's actually a tribute to Eddie. We wrote that when Eddie passed away. Yeah, and we tried to be sort of like a heavy blow-by-blow, more rock than jazz, progressive with weird time signatures and all that stuff, but very melodic. There's a lot of melody on the guitar and, the way the songs are structured. There's verses, there's choruses, with instrumental verses, instrumental choruses, and soloing, and a lot of inspirational improvising by me and Fernando. And he plays bass, guitar, and keyboard, so it's really just me and him. We have Derek Zerinian guested on 2 songs, which he played like Moog, like a guitar. Him and Fernando do some exchanges, which are awesome. Really, really good stuff. We have 2 covers. One we did like a heavy rock, jazz, reggae instrumental of Do You Think I'm Sexy? And then we did an instrumental of like ballady instrumental of Maybe I'm Amazed with the chick that sings with Pink Floyd doing like big gospel harmonies. Really cool. And those are the 2 covers. The other 10 songs are all original. I mean, it's great. Now I have a studio in the house. I just walk through the garage, I turn on the computer, go into the studio, turn on the computer. The drums are all set up. I got old Ludwig drums I use with Cactus and an old slinger and snare and Dido and tom-toms and Sabian cymbals, and everything's mic'd up with my Audix mics. I got it all plugged into the computer, turn it on, and I'm ready to play. I don't have to get drum sounds. They're already there. Verses, when I used to go into a studio, I have to bring the drums there, set them up, mic them up, get drum sounds. By the time you get to record the track, you're there 4 or 5 hours already. Makes it easy.
When Vanilla Fudge was touring and Zeppelin opened for a couple of shows, what do you think Bonham picked up from you as far as on the drum kit and sound-wise?
Well, according to the book written about Thunder of Drums, I was one of his influences, so that means that he picked up a lot of the power that I use, because basically when you look back at the drummers who were influential, and who were around inspiring people, and it was Mitch Mitchell, Ginger Baker, Keith Moon, and me and Dino Dinelli. So all the other 4 guys, they played light. I played really loud with a lot of power and showmanship. And when John saw me live, he loved it, and he loved my big drums. So he asked me if I could help him get a Ludwig endorsement. I mean, think about it, Nobody knew him. It's hard to believe now. People say when I talk about it like I'm egoing out. I'm not really egoing out. I'm just telling the truth. Nobody knew John Bonham. And I called Ludwig and said, I think this guy's going to be big. He wants a kid just like mine. It would be great if you give him an endorsement. And on my word, they did. And we sent him the first album. And on that, they gave him an endorsement. And he wasn't known yet. And then on the next tour, we did a lot of shows together, and he had the same exact drum set as me. And he was playing like me. He was doing the twirls like me, grabbing the cymbals like me. And he'd look at me when he did it, and we'd laugh, and I'd give him a thumbs up, and, we were friends, He jammed with me and Tim on that tour, jammed with Zeppelin on one of his songs.
I remember all these rumors about bands and backstage and tours. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Ozzy in '83 when you're playing with Ozzy Osbourne. The rumors were crazy. It was like Ozzy wouldn't start a show until the crowd ripped up a puppy, then he threw a dog into the crowd. And another one was there was like a sick out contest. And so Ozzy took a crap on stage and then King Diamond ate it.
No.
But were you guys aware that people were saying stuff like that?
I think those stories came out after I was with him. When I toured with him, Motley Crue was on tour with it. So King Diamond wasn't around at all. It's just ridiculous stories with Ozzy, And Ozzy really was, he wasn't that crazy, really, When he bit the head off the bat that time, when they threw it up to him, he thought it was rubber. He didn't realize it was a real bat, and he had to get rabies shots. So it wasn't very pleasant.
It's Carmine Appice. He's got a tribute out now, Stop in the Name of Love, Vanilla Fudge, the cover of the Supremes. He's also got this brand new album, Energy Overload with Fernando Perdomo. Carmine, a pleasure to talk to you, man. He's also got a couple of books out there, too. And stay safe. We hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah. Okay, man. Cheers.